Arif, thanks for your reporting today. Let's take a deeper dive on this and bring in Arif Husain. He's chief economist of the UN World Food Programme. He joins us live now from Rome. And Arif, as you've heard there, the global food security crisis is intensifying. Characterise the situation for us as it stands today, and what would you say are some of the key contributing factors to global hunger right now?
Good morning, Dan. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I mean, all I can say is that when we look at numbers, in 2019, just before COVID started, we had about 135 million people who were in what we call hunger emergencies. Today, that number is 345 million. Out of this 345 million, there are about 50 million people in not 1, 2, or 10 countries, but in 45 countries who are in what we call hunger emergencies, meaning one step away from famine. The reasons, by far still the biggest one, conflict, climate, economic consequences on their own, but then amplified by COVID, and hence rising costs. These are the things which we are dealing with, and if that wasn't enough, the crisis in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, that just put a lot of fuel on an already burning fire.
Arif, what stands out for me is the fact that you've called this a crisis of prices. One critical challenge at the moment is affordability, not availability. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so to this day, this crisis is about affordability, meaning that there's no, there is food available, but the prices are really high. But if we are unable to deal with certain things like fertilizer, availability of fertilizer for farmers, not only actual fertilizer being available, but at an affordable cost, then this crisis will turn into a crisis of availability come next year. And that is going to just spike the prices even more so. So what we are working hard to avoid is the current availability crisis not turning into an availability crisis come 2023.
And one of the other critical challenges here is finding sustainable solutions. A lot of talk, but very little action, because so many of these factors are outside of governmental or organizational control. But Arif, to that point, what is the World Food Programme doing to address some of these challenges? And are there measures that can be taken in the short term to alleviate some of the pressures?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I think what is really important is to make sure that we are able to save people's lives. I like to say that, when World Food Programme is setting records, that does not bode well for humanity, for people. And in 2020, we assisted 116 million people. That was a record in our 60-year history. In 2021, we assisted 128 million people. And obviously, then that was a record. And this year, we are planning to assist 142 million people, which again will be a record. So needs are going up. We need to assist more people, and we need two things in order to do that. We need resources, as in financial resources, and we need access. If you have the money but no access to these places, it's not going to work. But if you have all the access and no money, still it's not going to work. So our appeal is to keep giving generously so we can save lives. Now that is immediate. The second thing which needs to happen is we need to diversify our export bases. Right now, if you look in the world, 10 countries, less than 10 countries, make 80-90% of exports of commodities like wheat, corn, rice, soybean. And the stocks, the reserves are even tighter, meaning 5 countries, 6 countries hold 80-90% of stocks of these commodities. So whenever there is some kind of a shock to any one of those countries, you see the ramifications of that, not only in those countries, but across the world. And this is what we are experiencing as we speak. Now, let me just say on Ukraine also, that the days of having actions and reactions in one place, meaning a war in one place and its consequences instilled in that place, they're long gone. What we see today is war in one place and the ramifications of that thousands of miles away. And this is what we are experiencing with Ukraine.